Hey guys, welcome back to Dania. Today's video is a little bit long, but I thought that I would make a long video to you guys, where I actually finish this entire area. So this is something I can check off today, that this area is pretty much done. Of course, there's always the last things you can add when you have to, like, before you release the park, you always go that round where you look where you need the rest of the pieces or decorations or trees or whatnot. But I did say in the last video that I was gonna make a maze in this one, and that is exactly what I'm doing. The maze itself is active in that way that you can have people walking here. As you saw here, I did a path first. It wasn't really planned how I wanted it, the maze. I actually just went into it, made a path, and just put around some hedges around it. I hope the speed isn't too fast for you guys. It's like 1000 speed. So I do not hope it's too crazy for you guys. I was planning to have like some sort of vista points or maybe a shop even inside the middle, so people would go in there. But I just couldn't have a shop in here. It looked a little bit too clumsy, and also I had to cover up the box the shop has. And if I did that, then it would take a lot of the maze vibe away. And so what I do is I actually just add a tons of trees inside this maze, and it actually works quite nice. It actually feels like the maze is bigger in that way. You will see that at some point. But yeah, as I say, I didn't really have any planning or layout on how I wanted this. It was mainly just one hedge after the other, and yeah, I tried myself to take some people and get them in there, see how they walked around, and it actually looks quite nice when people are walking in here. I don't know how I could make it more interesting for people to actually get in here, because right now I only have a fountain in the middle, a vista point, and some benches. So I really don't think that people will ever walk in here unless I get something very attractive for the guests to come in here. I'm not sure quite yet what it's gonna be, but I tried the shop or a vending machine and so on, but it just didn't work. And I have tons of others shops in this area as well, so I don't know if it will take away some of it, but we will see. I think that after I made this maze here, that it fitted so well for this area. One thing I'm very happy about is when I made the botanical garden, I had no idea that these things I have made would look so good in this area. I think that when you saw the botanical garden first, it looks so majestic, it looks so big, but now when we have all this stuff surrounding it, it actually fit quite well, and it actually goes hand in hand together quite nice. Because I was in that point after I made it, you know, it was a spontaneous idea. I really didn't have any planning on how I could make it look natural in the park, but you know, with a lot of trees and all these kind of stuff, I've made the pavilions, some of the midway games, and that I still kept this kind of red and white color scheme, actually make it look pretty nice together. I was trying to do an entrance for this maze here, but it just didn't. There weren't really a lot of ideas coming to my mind, so I just end up placing the ones we got in the vintage pack. You know, the ticket booths from the vintage pack. I place those outside the maze here, so it feels like you actually can buy your ticket or like a walkthrough inside the maze. I actually haven't been to any parks that has a maze before. We have a few in Denmark, but that is like very, very small ones, and they're like very, very child friendly, so they're not very difficult. It's kind of like this sort of. But I still like that there's still something different in this park, and it still goes very well with the atmosphere and the ambience all the way around. So yeah, I'm really liking this. And now also, as I said, the plan of it were like very spontaneous too, so I'm quite satisfied on how this looks. It actually looks super natural, and it kind of looks like something I do like though. Is the round shape. I'm not super fan of the boxy mazes you see some places. So I kind of like this one instead, since it's also I surround it with trees, and yeah, I'm just really liking how it looks, if I have to say it myself. And one thing I do need though is light it up a little bit so it's not super dark in the night. There will be a few nighttime shots I will give you guys in the end here, where you will see how this area looks at night as well. Because there was one last time that asked if she could see the Midway games at night, and I totally forgot to make a little cinematic of that. So that will also be in the cinematics at the end, guys. Don't worry. Here I'm actually just trying to do a little bit more to the entrance. I wanted to make a sign, but which no matter where I put the sign, it kind of just ruined the oval, the overlook, or how do you say, of the entire maze. So I wasn't feeling it, so I kind of just went with just having it open and just make some sort of like easy and hard, which way you want to go. So that's just what I did there instead. As I said, the signs didn't really work for me so good, so I just scrapped it and just went with normal signs instead. So, but anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna play one track for you here, and then I will come back again and talk a little bit more of what else I am doing. So yeah, guys, enjoy, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Alright guys, as you can see, I just went out and placed a lot of trees, as I'm still doing, and basically just adding details where there's no detail, basically. After I made the maze and like done a little bit of stuff on it, I am trying to make a little of a queue for the drop tower here, which I am calling Skyfall. Very original, I know. Um, but I felt like I needed to have some sort of enclosure to the queue because the coaster kind of drives over. So for security reasons or safety reasons, I thought that it would be kind of nice to kind of put down a roof up on top of the queue here. And after I did that, it actually looks way better also when you see the coaster kind of like coming through here in the turn going around the drop tower. I really like it, I must say, and I know it's pretty generic and authentic, but I didn't want it to go super detailed, crazy on this drop tower here, because I wanted to have like this original, realistic vibe. This area, which I said in the previous episode, that this is probably one of the most realistic areas in the park, and I think it has become my favorite area as well. There's just so much stuff going on here, and yeah, I like how it looks. And as I said, I had no idea how I wanted this area to look when I first started it. It was kind of like the botanical area that was that kind of took a lot of the place and the amount of my time on this area. So a lot of the other things I've done here is actually quite neat. I just felt like I needed to do something original and realistic and just keep it to that and not go overboard, because I still do have a lot of themed areas in the park. I have Legoland, I have the Hans Christian Andersen area, which is possibly gonna be the most themed areas. And I gotta say, after I made this area, then I have the Old Town area and this area pretty much done. As I said, there's always the last touches, final detailing you need to do everywhere. But basically, I have finished with 2 areas now. And I think if I have to keep on going and kind of see, trying to like make areas finish now when I started them, I think I might go back to Legoland after this area and just try to make that area finish now, because it bothers me that I haven't finished that part yet, because it's really tedious work. So I'm trying my best at it to get it finished, and also I was kind of a little bit in the struggle on what more to add on the Legoland area. Even though I have the ideas, it's just more how to do them basically. So yeah, there's still some things, but as I have in my head now, I think Legoland will be the area I go to next. But you know, it can always change compared to what kind of ideas I get when I build. So we'll see. But yeah, you guys saw me make that little enclosure and queue for the drop tower. I wanted to make it safe, so you didn't have to run around. So I kind of fenced it in and added a little bit of foliage, rocks, trees, and all that. Because I felt like my first idea was not to have too many trees, because I want the botanical garden to peak and be the first thing you see. But because it's it's like a little bit above level compared to some of the other stuff, so it actually never, you can always see it no matter how many trees you place. Sorry. So that's kind of neat. Here I thought I would try to do the same queue line as I did for the drop tower. I ended up deleting this because I really didn't feel like it fitted here, especially because I put down a lot of hedges around it as well. So it was an idea I had first, but no. And one thing I actually got super annoyed about is when you look at this right, you see the fencing they have, right? I think some guy made that fence in UGC, but why didn't they just give us that piece in fence 2? There's just so many assets on these rides and small pieces they put into the default game that they just could have given us as a free piece as well, or a single piece too. That would have been so nice if they'd done that. But unfortunately not in this case, so we just have to make our own. But anyways, you see I'm making this circular hedge around this right here, and I think that I'm just going with that instead of having these entire this support with roof and all, which I also used in the Skyfall. It didn't work for me, and it didn't look very nice to me. So as you saw, I ended up deleting it because I really didn't feel that it looked nice there, especially also next to the people mover. Yeah, it didn't fit very well, so I just deleted it and just went with this natural way instead of using this sort of little hedge wall I made in the previous episode. And I actually use these a lot of places because it goes very well, and I thought that why don't I just use this entire area for this kind of theme. And here I'm actually just fencing in, making this path quite neat. I'm doing some of it too off camera because none of it is super exciting to look at, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just fiddling, doing a lot of the detailing, adding foliages, just filling up those holes. And I actually don't mind that there's a lot of foliage and trees around here, because in a lot of the theme parks I've been, there's always this sort of little area where you other way walk through a forest, or just very, very heavily decorated with trees and flowers. So I just dedicated an entire area for that instead. So one thing I do miss though is there is a part still on the water coaster, the dog ride section, where it goes like into this cave before it goes to the lift. I still need to decorate that part, but I'll do that off camera, and when I finish the coaster, I'm gonna try make that POV for you guys, so you guys can see how it runs, especially also now with all the theming around, and it looks super neat. I also have a name for the coaster, I think, because it's called Botanical Garden. I'm just gonna call it Botanica. It goes well with it, and it feels Danish and it feels English in the same way. You can pronounce it both ways without it sounding super weird. So yeah, that's the plan of that ride as well. Here I'm doing some nighttime lighting. I actually do a lot of nighttime lighting on this, because I feel like I don't want to go back and do that, because it's such tedious work to do, basically, and it's kind of boring. I do like adding lights on blueprints and kind of make them look very nice with the lighting. But when it comes to this, it's mediocre, I would say. Right, guys, we jump straight into a new midway game, which I'm also doing here. I said in the previous one that I think I needed one more midway game, kind of like to place here in the center, a little, so because this area here was kind of empty, and I didn't want it to place any more pavilion shops or rides there. So I thought, okay, let's make a midway shop here again. And when I first made it, I didn't have any idea on which midway games it should be, so I struggled a lot, but I came up with a quite neat idea, if I have to say it myself. So yeah, this is what is it called? Oh, I can't remember. Hook a duck is it? And I was struggling so much to make the ducks in this game, because you know me, I'm not super creative when it comes to the shapes of making characters or small people. I've made a few before, but it's pretty much basic. I mean, my creativity mind doesn't go very far when it comes to the shapes and making characters, people, toys, whatever. So it is what it is. But yeah, guys, this is basically what I'm doing here. I do end up recoloring this a little bit, because I didn't feel like the white and blue color matched very well with the surrounding. So I do adding some red color to it as well. So it's like red, white, and blue, and it fits more in this area here than the blue white color does. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I will play you guys on one more track, and I will get back to you when I am almost done with this build. So yeah, guys, enjoy, and see you soon. Bye. guys, and welcome back again. Hope you enjoyed the music. As I said, I was gonna come back here at the end of this build, and as you can see, I'm trying to figure out a way to make the red, white, and blue scheme go well together. And I've noticed a lot of places in a lot of theme parks there's this sort of midway games is basically just randomly placed in the middle of a plaza or something. So I don't really see this as super weird in that way, because I've seen it a lot of places where you go over and then there is this some sort of midway games in the middle of everything where you can win teddy bears or whatever there is in this midway game. So I'm quite satisfied on how this turned out, and as I said, after I changed some of the color scheme on it, it looks way better now compared to the only first color I chose. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to make this sort of fake pool or bassin, where you have like where all the ducks is gonna be, where you have to catch a duck. I know it's nothing super crazy. I didn't want to go overboard with this. I just wanted to have like the illusion of it. So that's what I did here, just trying to give it a little bit of trim work. One thing I did struggle with a lot is the ducks I had to make. I just couldn't get them on the right scale. So I had to put my head to ease to figure out what I could do, and it was annoying to me that I just couldn't figure out a way to do this, because I'm not super creative when it comes to the shapes. So I had to I had to find another way to get through this, and I did, and I'm quite happy and satisfied on the turnout on this. What I did was that after a lot of failed attempts, I went into all the pieces and I just looked through all the pieces, and I found the vintage bird vase or duck vase, or how, I don't know which animal it is or bird it is, but no matter what. I used that, as you can see here. It was such a struggle for me, really. I know I've said it a few times, but after I found out that this could work, I just made a tons of them and kind of like used the barbel to kind of like make the hook to it, and just trying to get it away or like hide it as good as possible, as you see me do here. And when I got a lot more of them, it kind of looked quite nice, and kind of looked like it was actually Hook a Duck midway games we had here. I also add a bunch of toys. I use some of Chan's toys, and I use my derpy looking smiley faces too. Yeah, and just detailing it a lot more inside. Adding a little bit of festive lights too, I think, and some animatronics, so it feels like the game is active and you can go over there and all that stuff. Yeah, you know, the same old same. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here, guys. I didn't know what kind of interior I had to do on it, but I just put down a lot of those studios. What are they called? Cabinets, and placed them below the oh, I can't remember what it's called. I'm so bad at this. Where the people are standing, I put down, you see it right here, I put down these sort of cases, kind of like, because it feels like they could have some stuff inside those too, right? And I've seen that too in some of the other midway games, that they have these sort of cabinets where mainly some of the prizes are or whatnot. I am pretty sure that that's what they're used for. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do here, guys. I just add the last detailing to this. I don't know if I will put this on the workshop, to be honest, because I'm not super satisfied with it. I think it's the color scheme I'm not super fan of, in that way that I don't know if it will work in other areas, in other parks, because here it's basically made for this this theme and the color scheme. So yeah, but anyways, if you guys want this, I can put it on the workshop, no problem. But anyways, guys, I will stop talking here and I will get back to you guys at the cinematics. So yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of the speedbuild, guys, and I will see you at the end. Bye. Alright guys, welcome back for the last time in this video. As you can see, I'm just adding the last detailing here, the toys, and just making this midway game look quite good. One thing I've been struggling with for a long time now in this game is the axis. It amazes me that they can have it going out this far, Frontier. They've had a lot of time on working on this now, and people are complaining and getting frustrated about this, and I totally understand them. It's not supposed to happen. So I don't know what Frontier is doing right now. I'm really just hoping that they're finding a solution on this, because it really bumps out the gameplay experience and the progress of your stuff. I just felt like I needed to put this in here in this video, because I just forgot that I totally forgot to mention it, because it's really something I've been struggling with for quite a while now, and it's just freaking annoying. So Frontier, if you're listening, please fix this issue, because it's really annoying to be in this game and try build, because you can't use your normal methods of building, because the axis is so freaking screwed up, and it quite annoys me a lot. So yeah, that was just a little input here, guys. I just needed to get it out because it's really frustrating, and I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's hope that Frontier will fix it, especially when they also gave us a new DLC, and we kind of expect that the game will run quite well when they put out a new DLC, right? But in this case, apparently that's not what is their thing. I don't know. I know that the TMT definitely destroyed Planet Coaster. Not the pieces, but just the method of it. It's not fair at all, and especially when lots of us have used over $100 on this game. It should run way better. I'm not complaining about the FPS issues, because that is, they can do it better. That is what it is. It's good. It's just how you build in this game now. It's man, it's the progress is so slow, really, and it's not fair to us that are very passionate about this game and have used a lot of hours and money. It shouldn't be like this at all. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry, that was just a little input from me. Give me your thoughts on how you guys think the game runs, because for me, it's not going very well. I get super frustrated sometimes. If I had enough money to buy a new computer, this computer would probably have been destroyed a few times, because you get so angry that this game just doesn't want to do what you want to do, and that's just not how a game should work, basically. So please fix it. Okay, enough of this. Sorry, guys. But yeah, guys, as you can see here, we are going through the cinematics. And yeah, there's nighttime shots, there are pictures, there are cinematics of the maze, there's basically everything I've done off camera, where you guys can, so you guys can get a look on how this area turned out. And as I say, there may be a few flaws somewhere where there's a little bit of stuff that needs to be worked on and added, but in the long haul, guys, this area is finished. So I will probably not go back to this area. I will probably not make any videos of this area. Mainly just the POVs of the ride that are here. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope, guys, I know I say in tons of the other videos, but I really do hope that I can be able to give you guys a park tour. I'm struggling with having recording and then going around in the park without it being too much stutter and lag. So I don't know how much of a good experience for you guys it will be, but I will find a solution on it. I promise you that, guys. Or I'll just make a nice showcase video of Dania where you guys can see a lot of the stuff that you guys haven't seen yet. So yeah, it's in the fog right now. I'll do some stuff, guys. I'll promise you that. So, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, sorry for it for being this long, but I had a lot of recording that I needed to get into this video, and also I feel like it's fair enough that I give you this long video if I do a lot of stuff in it. And in this particular part, I'm actually finishing up an area, so I thought it would be quite okay for you guys to get this. So, but yeah, enough of talk for me today, guys. I've been talking quite a lot today, and if you guys like this sort of way I'm doing this, by talking, adding music, talking, adding music, please let me know, because I'm trying to figure out a new way of me to talk a little bit more, where it doesn't go over to being random stuff and only kind of focusing on what I'm doing. So yeah, guys, give me some feedback on it, and just give me your thoughts on how you think this whole area turned out to look. Yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So have an awesome weekend, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.